Well, we're counting down the hours until Finance Minister eNCA delivers the midterm budget, and there are great expectations for the address. The agriculture sector is calling for tax relief and infrastructure investment. Let's get more from Agri Executive Director Christo who joins me now this morning. Christo, always a pleasure talking to you, and thank you so much for your time this morning. I know that you had a summit quite recently talking about not only challenges that are facing agriculture, but some of the resolutions and recommendations you think can best boost up, the agriculture economy. Obviously now with the minister expected to provide the midterm budget, what are your expectations ahead of 2 p.m. today?
Good morning, and good morning to all of your viewers. I think it's important that we should recognize the role that agriculture plays in any society. If your people goes hungry, then you're in serious trouble. So you need to create a conducive environment for farmers to produce food. If the tax burden becomes too heavy on your farmers, if there's a whole range of other factors that really makes it very difficult for them to farm profitably, then you place your entire food security status at risk. And that's why we call on the Minister of Finance to really look at ways and means to relieve the tax burden on the agriculture sector. And there's a number of proposals that we've made, as well as looking at how do you boost infrastructure development, ensuring proper rail infrastructure, road infrastructure, and so forth, so that farmers can bring their produce to the markets and also export to the rest of the world, and ensure that we put affordable food on the tables of our people.
Yeah, I think when we talk agriculture, Christo, we may generalize it, but in your view, it seems tobacco, grape and cane farmers are amongst the hardest hit. What relief do they need?
I think government, to a certain extent, has seen agriculture as a sort of soft target for additional tax income. Sin taxes is a big challenge for your wine industry, your tobacco industry, the broader liquor industry. And then, in addition to that, government has also now changed, the diesel rebate system, which is applicable to the farming sector. And then there's also the proposed tax amendment bill that actually is going to prevent farmers from carrying over their losses from 1 year to the other. Remember, agriculture is a very cyclical business. 1 year you've got drought, the next year you've got commodity fluctuation in commodity prices, etc. And you need to accommodate all of those variables to make it attractive for the farming sector to continue to invest, because it's only through investment that we can produce food for the country.
Absolutely. And one particular proposal that I know you make mention of, Christo, is the Financial Intelligence Center Act of 2001, mentioning that this proposal needs to be withdrawn. Give me some of the reasons why you think it's a priority for the minister to consider this.
So what this proposal says is that you need to now, get sort of FICA clearance if you transact high valuable goods, exceeding an amount of 100,000 rand. And that is going to place an additional administrative burden, and is going to add to administrative cost when it comes to the farming sector. And those are the kind of things that we say, please don't impose another administrative cost burden on the sector. Look at ways and means to reduce that, so that it makes life easier for the farming sector. Remember now, we've had a couple of interest rates hikes for the past couple of months. So that makes the cost of finance so much more expensive. And secondly, we've seen a massive increase in the price of diesel. 2015, the cost of diesel was 10 rand per litre. Now it sits at 25 rand per litre. You look at almost 285% increase over time. And unfortunately, all of those things add to the cost of producing food. And who suffers at the end of the day? Your consumer. And consumers are already struggling out there. Food has become more expensive. But South Africa is still in a very good and a very privileged position in that our farmers produce some of the cheapest and some of the best food in the world. And that is something that we should treasure and protect at all costs.
Absolutely. You mentioned just a good point there about the consumer being directly impacted by these soaring prices, Christo. Just in my last question to you before I let you go, sound policy making, how important is it for the agricultural sector?
Remember, the entire agricultural value chain is sort of interlinked, and you need to have a sound policy environment. In other words, you need to have certainty, policy certainty. If I make my investment, I want to see a return on that investment. Secondly, I don't want my investment to be taxed to death. I want to make a profit, and yes, I want to give the state also a part of the profit that I make. But remember now, I need to save for a rainy day, and this is what agriculture is all about. It's a high-risk business. If I don't have some reserves that I can fall back to, and all of those reserves are depleted through tax hikes and things like that, then I give up at the end of the day as a farmer, and that place the entire country at risk when our commercial farmers and all other farmers decide what is no longer worth to be in the farming sector again.